Hi guys, this is Jeff at Slavens Racing. This video is about our top 5 engine performance mods for the KTM and Husqvarna 250 and 300 two-strokes, the non-TPI models, so the carbureted models. The late XCs and TX and TC models are all carbureted, and then the 18 and earlier XCW models in the US and 17 and earlier outside the US are carbureted. So any of the 250, 300 XC, XCW, EXC, 6 days, they all have the same engine. This is the 17 was a transitional year. This is this one's the 17. This is one of my bikes that's going down the road here in a little bit, and I'll be doing a video on the 19 XC. But anyhow, the very first thing to do to any two-stroke, no matter what brand it is, the most bang for the buck is always the head. So here's our Slavens Mule proprietary head made by S3, but this is not the ones that you can buy from other sources. We have our own inserts made for them. So raising the compression on these motors is the very first thing you should do. That's the biggest bang for the buck. You can machine your head. You can buy a different head. I think the S3 is the highest quality two-stroke head on the market right now. Extremely high machining, high quality machining. And then the way we do our squish band and in the combustion chamber, it's just a nice, smooth running head. Fits perfectly and adds a lot of low-end torque and mid-range torque. Just makes them able to pull a taller gear in most situations. It's not. Some guys get confused about heads and think that they add to the top end. They don't. Heads typically add to the bottom end and the mid-range, but they do make them pull stronger throughout the power band, but they do not make them rev higher or anything like that. So that's number one. On these 17, 18, 19 carbureted models, the very next thing you should do is get rid of the Mikuni carburetor and put on Electron. So I've played with those Mikunis extensively, and yeah, you can make them a lot better than they come from the factory, but if you really want to get rid of that headache, put on the Electron. They adjust for elevation, they give better fuel mileage, better performance, and they're kind of a no-brainer. Number 3 is, you can barely see it in there, the V-Force reed cage assembly, reed valve assembly by Moto Tassinari. These late model KTM 17, 18, 19s are kind of known for breaking reeds, and when they do, it creates a big mess in the motor. So I'd highly recommend that you do that, if nothing else, just for reliability. They do add a little more performance, a little bit better throttle response on the bottom. Number 4, as far as performance would go, would be the pipe. Now this bike has a stock pipe on it, because I just buffed this bike out to get it ready for sale. But I normally run the FMF fatties. And then you can also, choose whatever you need for a muffler on the back to go with that. We have to have spark arresters here in Colorado, so this is a 2.1 FMF turbine core. But if you don't need a spark arrestor, you can run the stock one or the FMF power core. But I like the FMF fatties because it mimics the stock power band, only it just gives you more everywhere. More bottom, more mid-range, more top end. And it's a smoother transition. It just gives them more, just overall power, and they just pull stronger everywhere with the FMF fatty. Like I said, that's the stocker on there right now, but the fatty is my preference. Our biggest selling pipe is the gnarly, but I'm not a fan of the gnarlies because, one, they're heavier, and two, they're a little too abrupt at the real low RPMs when you're trying to pick your way through a rock pile. That's just my choice. I don't like that hit down there, but a lot of guys do. Let's see, I think that was number 4. So number 5 It's under here. It's the SX-CDI. So the SX-CDI gives you a similar benefit as the fatty pipe does. It just makes them pull stronger everywhere. Does not give them a big hit. I like smooth power delivery. You know, in 2 strokes, you're always struggling to get the tire to hook up, especially on a nice dry summer day. So hit just makes everything spin, and quite often it spins right when you're trying to get up a ledge or something. So I like a smooth power delivery. So that's our top 5 performance mods for the carbureted KTM and Husqvarna 250 and 300 models. I will be putting out one for the TPI models real soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, please join our Slavens YouTube channel. And then all these products are on our website at slavensracing.com. And I also encourage you to become active in your area. This is one of our organizations here in Colorado. And if you're riding in Colorado, I think you should join that organization. Help them out a little bit. But no matter where you ride, get involved. Join your local clubs. Join your local trail access organizations. Do what you got to do to help keep our trails open. That's all for now.